We are getting an update on what's happening in Hamilton this morning with Mayor Fred Eisenberger. Good morning.
Good morning and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you very much. I know you're a big supporter. Wanted to ask you, late last week, the province announced more money in funding for COVID release. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hamilton is in for $18.2 million?
That was the number, yeah. And
Okay.
that will certainly help us offset any future COVID-related costs. So the estimated additional cost for next year is about $60 million. And so we're holding on to some of the funding we've had previously, and certainly we'll put this towards ensuring that we can cover off those additional expenses next year as well. So we're making sure that we have enough to kind of bridge the gap between last year and the additional expenses we're expecting next year.
Because that money is meant so that no municipality ends up with a deficit, correct?
A deficit or having to pass along significant tax increases. In the absence of support and funding from our federal and provincial partners, we would have had to pass along a 6 or 7 or 8% tax increase. So they've helped us even that out, and hopefully that'll be the same for next year.
Now, is there going to be any, because the tax increase was announced last week as well, is it 2.1? Is that what we're in for?
2.1, yeah, right across the board, actually. It's probably the first time that it's been even right across the entire city.
Okay, and that's, you're not going to go back to the table then with this new money coming in, because you probably already had an indication that that might be coming along?
Yeah, exactly. And these are one-time, funding that it's just not sustainable to build into your budget. So we're going to make sure that we put it in reserve so that next year we don't have to pass on additional higher tax load to the taxpayers as well.
Okay. How are things going with Hamilton's vaccination clinics right now?
Well, as you know, the phone system was a bit of a struggle that we set up temporarily to get out ahead of the provincial online booking system. But, I think about half of the plus 85 have been contacted and booked. Many of them are getting their vaccine right now, and of course, we've done the long-term care facilities, in the process still of doing the retirement homes and working on shelters and then working on 85 plus. So the good news is, more supply is coming, and that will allow us to do even more. And all of our facilities are ready, available, and up and running to get vaccine into arms. So I think we're in a much better place now, but we still need some patience from our citizens because we can only do what the supply allow us to do. So we'll continue to do it as quickly as we can.
And I think with all that, that renewed optimism, people are like, well, we can all get together now. Hamilton had another large gathering broken up by police last week.
Yeah, and then the challenge is going to be, while we're vaccinating, people still have to be mindful of physically separating because not everyone is vaccinated out there. And until such time as we get about 75% of our population vaccinated, those precautionary measures, the masking, the physical distancing, staying home, within your own household is still going to be very important. That you can still spread the disease even though you've been vaccinated. And so that's going to be critical as we go forward here in the many months to continue to follow the public health recommendations and at the same time be encouraged that, vaccine is on its way. So good news that that's happening. The bad news is we're still going to have to maintain some discipline around those public health measures.
I want to talk about the new carbon negative bus. This is a pretty cool thing. Why was Hamilton chosen, or did Hamilton bid to become the first in the province to have one of these buses?
No, I think we were chosen largely because we have the largest natural gas fleet in the province. So, we were way out ahead in terms of pursuing natural gas. Now, this gas is biogas, so the breakdown of food waste that turns into a methane gas that can be used to power the vehicle. So we were chosen largely because we have the largest natural gas fleet in Ontario, maybe even in the country.
And I understand that the compost from this is coming from a facility in London. Any chance down the road that this could, be a use for our compost?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the ultimate goal, is to have that kind of biomass facility here that can generate that kind of fuel that can then power up the vehicle. So we can flip from natural gas to a renewable source, which is actually the breakdown of our food waste into renewable methane gas. So that's ultimately the goal. It's very difficult to set up these facilities without having lots of resources out there that the gas can go into. And so until such time as we hit some critical mass, we'll probably keep working on creating that facility to be ready to ramp it up when we're able to facilitate the conversion of all our vehicles.
Okay, and on that note, we have to say goodbye, but great talking to you again, Mayor Fred Eisenberger, Mayor
Can
of
I do a
Hamilton.
shout out to Dr.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Richardson, Distinguished Woman of the Year. She's been a leader in getting us through the pandemic, and she was honored last week, and I'm just so thrilled that she got that honor. So congratulations to her.
Good call.
All right, see you.